Yeah, this comment about who was this? NYXS60. Yeah, all in iridology, and I've seen this, and I don't know how many eyes I've done. I know Jensen. He's told me he did over 300,000 eyes. I know I've done well over 100 and some. There's either two colors of eyes on this planet in humans, and that is brown or blue. And you're exactly right. I can show you many blue eyes that are almost all brown, and that's not good. brown eyes, brown in a blue eye is chronic lymph toxicity, and that's serious. Yeah, this brown has to come out. Orange in your eye is sulfur. So you can get a magnifying glass or get a real strong mirror, get a flashlight, and if you see orange in your eye, you can see orange in a brown eye. Much more difficult, though. That's why my camera is right up close to your eye, and you can really see things like that, and the photograph brings the colors forth, too. But there's yellow. Of course, that makes for green-looking eyes, hazel eyes. All these are blue eyes. A true brown eye will be nothing but brown, but you'll see shades of brown. And the lighter brown is probably your true color of your eye. But absolutely, the day or two after birth, your genetics starts registering into the brain, and everything starts changing. Your eyes change, everything starts changing to match those genetics. How interesting, huh? So much, there's so much we don't know. But we're wakening up. That's a good thing. Someone asked me about raw tomatoes. Yeah, I mean, they're the nightshade, like Dan with the IRA. Yeah, I wouldn't do any nightshade. I've seen a lot of problems with that. Nightshade and pain. It makes you wonder when you're hybriding a toxic plant family, just what are we doing here? But they're edible, I guess. I like a big beefsteak tomato myself, but I still feel the acid. I'm real sensitive to acids, and I can even tell them in a raw tomato. But, okay, raw salsa. You could get away with doing some organic corn chips as a cheat, and dried popcorn without salt, or unless you use the Celtic or Himalayan or real salt or something as a cheat. These are good cheats, I guess you could say. Someone asked me about coconut secret. I'm not aware of that, but if it's all coconut, I'm in love with that. That's good stuff. Someone asked me about, there's been recipes out there with mango and date and pear-based dressings on some of the raw salads. Yeah, I mean, could get some gas and fermentation from that a little bit. I know. I mean, these things taste good, and I suppose there's really no major harm in doing anything like that, of course. But certainly, if you could get some gas and discomfort from the fermentation. If you're a diabetic, I wouldn't touch that. I would really stay strict with the combinations until I fix my adrenal glands, or type 1, get into the pancreas or the nervous system that controls that, which is the adrenal glands. I would definitely stay with super good. Matter of fact, as a diabetic, I would stay real more mono eating, where your body's really just focusing on one single food at a time or two. And I definitely keep fruit in the fruit category, vegetables in the vegetable category, and of course you can't do starch. And I wouldn't do any protein. Protein raises the blood sugar, so you can tell me why that is. So you're right, but I mean, this is not going to be harmful like high protein diets and things like this. These things are known to destroy the kidneys and colon. I mean, proteins are, we have to get out of, the word protein itself is wrong. It's an illusion in terms of a needed nutrient, because it's a complex structure of amino acids. Yeah, we need amino acids, but I like when we get to the right verbiage, because this is how misinformation is passed. And so people get caught up in the protein myth, and then that's pretty soon they're echoing things that are untrue, and they just don't realize it. And then we have a lot of that in gyms and bodybuilding and stuff, and there's some sad cases out there now because of that. Yeah. Passio, yeah, thank you for the comment, my friend. Birth control, Queensland lace and wild carrot, eh? I'll look those up. I really am interested. Someone said pine needles, pretty acidic, but certainly estrogen is acidic, which is what women take to keep themselves aborted. But I'll look those up. I'm familiar with both of them. I've not heard them in a birth control issue, but I'll dig deeper on that because it sounds pretty cool. I think we come up with a good natural herbal birth control. We've got it. I mean, because this is what we need. This planet is getting heavily populated, and you can see there's no work, there's nothing for these poor souls. And these bodies, I think people need to spend some time getting their genetics rebuilt and their health built before they start having children, because I'll tell you, the medical profession aren't treating these children well. The mutation from surgeries and stuff on these children are just beyond almost comprehension. I know they probably mean well, but you can mean well and be unconscious, and at another level, it's destruction. So, you know, it's maybe why we talk so bad about it. I'd go after the LA's finest. I don't put up with that kind of crap. It's just, you know, we can't live in fear base anymore. We got to turn the cards around and know, you're going to come after us, we're going to come after you lawfully. And we have a constitution that every state signed. I don't care what these states think. They are their sovereign states. We live in a country with 50 sovereign states. But, interestingly, they all signed on to the federal, I hate to use the word federal constitution, the United States Constitution, and that does give you the right. So this deprivation of right is a good lawsuit. I'll get into OCD another time here. This is I'm 19 because my time, and I'm already over. Oh, these videos go so fast. Dadgummit. I'm 19 and I'm dealing with some emotional issues like anxiety, depression. Well, remember when I said if you're 19 years old, you can bet assured you have kidney and adrenal gland weakness? Well, honey, you're showing this right here. Now, depression is the parathyroid gland. Now, here's an interesting clue for you guys. All right, this lady, we know she's got anxieties. Anxieties, that's your autonomic nervous system, that's your adrenal glands. That's every time, that's a fact. That gives you anxieties, that gives you all types of emotional type issues. All in that vein. Depression, though, is flipping up to the parathyroid where you're not utilizing calcium. You look at all your depression out there, you'll see a lot of postpartum depressions. Remember we talked about Andrea Yates, and these guys are stuck on these antidepressants and stuff. These guys aren't doctors. These guys, they don't even deserve the degree. No offense, but this is wacko stuff. We got to get into the real biological issues of these cases. And of course, she's had 5 babies. It's calcium sucked right out of her. She's not utilizing calcium, and look at her. She's gone. She's easy to diagnose. Well, here's one that's fairly easy. She's 19 years old. She has depression. We know it's a parathyroid, but she's 6'1". Now, what gland do you think in your body deals with your growth? You know, we were giving growth hormones. Some guy called me, the FDA's after him, IRS is after him, and he was selling growth hormones in California. FDA told him at first it was okay and then said, no, we're going to arrest you for it. Well, the bottom line is, don't give growth hormones anyway, you know, because they shouldn't arrest him for it because they told him it was okay. But still, growth hormones only serve to weaken what? Endocrine gland. Yes, the pituitary. So, honey, you're 6'1". I'm going to tell you, you were born with some pituitary issues that made your growth go a little high. 6'1", okay, but I can tell you that you're seeing the young people growing higher, taller, because we're seeing more pituitary problems. And then you see the depression, which is the suppression of the parathyroid, probably by the pituitary. In other words, you could hypothesize that this is probably it, and this is what we're going to do here in the future, is take cases, and I'm going to keep going them over with you. So if you put your case here, I'm going to go over it. But don't feel bad, because if you come to my school, I can pick you out of the crowd, because, you know, we're all working together. There's no shame for anything. We're all working on each other's health. And so I'm going to use you as examples because you're a good learning tool. You're a good learning tool for yourself and for others. And so I'm saying that I see pituitary here. At least I'm real suspicious. She's too tall. Not too tall. Don't, but I'm saying you're tall, and really I see that's going. And you're thin. So here we go. We're going to look at the colon, because remember I said in iridology we've learned that the transverse bowel is tied to the head area and of course to the pituitary. Every time I see a pituitary weakness, I find a transverse colon weakness. Well, here is the probability of malabsorption. So we have to consider here we've got GI tract problems, we've got adrenal and kidney problems, okay, and we've got depression, and this person is a little tall here. Nice height though, perfect height. You do yoga, you do qigong, meditation. Good woman. Yeah, I tell you, I like that. The balance of detoxification and weight gain, I tell you, there's almost no balance there because detoxification is a process to get a thin person to the point that they can put on muscle properly. It's hard to do both at the same time because when your GI tract has interstitial lymphatic constipation, you can't eat good and absorb because you're not absorbing. How do you remedy that? You have to fix the malabsorptions, and you have to fix the growth hormones, and you have to fix everything. You have to fix the cells because remember, your body's nothing but cells and two fluids. So this is important that we keep going back to that, and there's going to be a time where you might be thinner than you like, but you know you're going to fix that. You know you're going down the road to find remedy to your problem. And yeah, we look and we see people get too thin or this or that as they go along, and sometimes the pains and sometimes the rashes all over the skin. Yeah, not always fun. I tell you, it's not always fun, but if you want to get at the level of tissue regeneration, which is what I suggest, you're going to have to ride some wild horses out here, or donkeys, or buffalo, and take the ride. And so, okay, I'm done.
She can call from Canada.
Okay.
She can't call back.
All right. All right, I'm done here. All right, I'll finish up. I've got a real tyrant out here that's really on me, so I'll finish this up. I will say, the omegas. I'm into the fatty acids of the fresh fruits and stuff. You can take some omega 6s and 9s or whatever. I don't know. I don't care about fish oil one way or another. This person with uritis, and I'll address that again. Uritis, detox your urinary tract, get your kidneys filled, and it just shows you're having kidney filtration problems. Fix the bladder up, get into this detox, get the kidney formulas, and you'll be okay. Got a cough coming in from Canada, got to run. I so apologize. You see my mango? I got a bunch of these babies, and that big, I got them even bigger. But those were getting kind of ripe. I didn't want to bring them, but we got some big mangoes down here. I just got there too late to get them too ripe. All right, I'll see you all. Thank you. Have a fun day. And tomorrow I'll do a video on spirituality. Thank you all. Bye-bye now.